Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reviewing Comics with me, your host, Alexander Turbin. Today we're going to be going into our third adventure with Kull the Barbarian, the third portion of this Bizzare Adventures number 36 from Marvel Comics. But before we get into that, I'd like to show you some of my own work. This is Random Access number 29. This came out last month, and there's a new one about to come out. And you can get these at patreon.com/Alexander Turbin, or you can go to my website, alexanderturbin.com. And this is the Cyrene story. Every month there's a different story. This is a 12-page, full-size, full-color comic book, and it has backups by either Chris Knox and or Paul Courtjohn and or other fascinating artists, indie artists that are out there. So like I said, you can get these at patreon.com/Alexander Turbin, or go to alexanderturbin.com for more stuff. Another tidbit of information, we have our newest poll up, and it is the winners between the last round. So we have Mark Silvestri and Dale Keown. So go in and check out and cast your vote who you think is better. Dale Keown so far is getting trounced, so if you're a Keown fan, definitely go in and cast your vote. But even if you're a Silvestri fan, go and hammer in that coffin to Dale Keown, and let's see who you guys like more than anybody. My vote, I'm gonna have to say I like Silvestri a little bit more. I don't know, it's so hard to say, but that's why these polls are so fun. It wouldn't be as fun if they were easy. So we're going, like I said, into the third episode, the third part of the Marvel's Bizzare Adventure, which features Kull the Conqueror, or this is Kull the Barbarian as it is. So previously, Kull had some issues with himself. He was getting older, and he was feeling like he didn't have it anymore, and he was just feeling his age, kind of like Jim Kirk in not Search for Spock, Wrath of Khan, kind of like he did, and he was feeling kind of weary and stuff. But he's also being infiltrated by an evil sorcerer and his daughter, and they finally, in the last part of the last episode, they finally got their hooks into him, and the daughter, I assume they had sex, and she cast her spell on him, and more and more he became their slave. And so really that's where we're picking up, where she has been his slave. It says for 3 days, I'll read this beginning intro. For the third day in a row, the royal procession with full complement of trumpeteers and red slayers passes through the strange silence. For the third day in a row, Kull haughtily parades his new mistress before the confused populace. It is not like Kull to take a woman. He has rarely done so before. And two, there are other things that seem different about him. The people have never been overly pleased that a foreign barbarian sits upon their topaz throne, but until now, at least, he has always been fair and just. So there's a difference in Kull's mannerisms. There's a difference in his temperament. And you can tell that she's got her wizardly hooks in him. So again, this is by John Bolton, and who is it written by? Written by I can't remember. Doug Monich, and artist John Bolton. So Bolton does everything, and I've waxed and waned about how amazing John Bolton is and how much of a treasure he really is. And as you can see, this comic book has got lots of wear and tear on it, and it's because it's so beautiful, and it's just it's a treasure. I might have to go out and find a better copy just to kind of pile away. And that is another discussion. I told myself I wasn't going to branch off into these little tangents that I have. I was going to try to keep the video a little bit shorter, because they've been getting longer and longer, because I do go on these rants about different things in comic books, about art, about all this stuff. And I'm really going to try not to do that. So if you guys could just still stick with me, and I will just get to the point of the comic book, and we'll go through the comic book. But it's a thought that I've had. I have some CGC comics where they're, encapsulated in plastic for never to be opened again. And I know there's quite a debate about that in the comic books community. And as a seller, I love it. As a collector, I still kind of love it because it keeps a copy pristine. I know that I'll always have this pristine copy, assuming it gets a good grade or whatever, and that I could always have this ragtag thing that I can read, but having a really nice copy would really be great too. That's just, sealed away for the collector in my soul, because so many of us have this I don't know, this thing in our soul that we feel we need to have these things and collect them and keep them and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the CGC thing. And do you have multiple copies of different things? One to read and one to keep away and stuff like that. And so anyway, let's get back into this book because, like I said, I'm going to try to be a little bit better about staying on topic and just getting to what really needs to be gotten to. So Kull, he's become a jerk. He's a jerk king. And it's all due to this little temptress here, and she he's asking for bread. One of the townsfolk is asking for bread, and Kull kicks him in the face and says, guards, throw him in jail. So he's just, he's a bad guy now. And the Spear Slayer, I can't remember what his name, something the Spear Slayer. Anyway, the Spear Slayer and the other advisor, they're just like, they don't know what to do. It's kind of going crazy, and they've lost their last frame of mind with Kull pretty much. So Kull goes back to the palace with his woman. Her father has brought a mirror, which is the magical mirror that Kull was looking at in the sorcerer's house, which kind of turns him into this Neanderthal kind of beast creature thing. And she's in bed and she's enticing him with her bodily charms, her womanly charms, and she's quite hot because John Bolton draws some beautiful women. They're extremely beautiful. He does, all of his figures are really great, but his women are impeccably beautiful. So Kull goes to the mirror, and he doesn't actually see this creature. He sees himself, but he's withering away. He's becoming more and more the slave of the sorcerer and the sorceress, and they just got their hooks on him. He goes through the town, Volusia or whatever, and his red guards, they spend their nights raping women and partying and stuff, and their days just sleeping off the party and stuff. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the defense of Volusia. He doesn't care about anything. All he cares about is being with this woman and being in her thrall and just kind of chilling out and stuff. So finally, the Spear Slayer has had enough. He comes to Brule. Brule is his name. Brule the Spear Slayer. He's had enough. He comes to Kull, and he's like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening. What has happened to you? You are not the same person. Kull gets a little bit offended by this and his tone, and he speaks up to Brule, and he's like, watch that tone or you're going to have something worse to deal with. But Brule isn't going to let up. He wants to know what's going on with Kull, and finally Kull gives Brule a good smack in the face, and Brule is like, he's had it, and he's like, I came here for answers, and the blood in my mouth, I guess that's all of the answers that I'm going to find. So then we go to the next scene where Kull and his new queen, because he parades her around the city, I guess, showing off his woman, and he comes across a minstrel, Renando. And Renando is composing a song kind of against the king, against Kull, and Kull usually probably would be, think it's kind of funny or whatever, or not care. But this Kull, he is up in arms. He's angry at Renando, says for them to put Renando into prison and lock away the key, pretty much, throw away the key. And then it goes back to the sorcerer, and he's doing even more sorcery stuff and really good in getting his claws into Kull and trying to make sure that Kull never, gets out of this sleepy haze that he's in. And then, so finally, the people of Volusia have had enough, and they're gonna be because there's gonna be an uprising. He's taxed them. He's hasn't given them any aid. He keeps taking from them. He's just treating them like horribly. So they've had enough. They're gonna have an uprising, and they're gonna go smash his head in. The Red Guard, which are supposed to be like these elite warriors that protect the realm, they're like, hey, should we go help them? And the rest are like, nah, we're going to just let them go and kill Kull, and then we'll decide who's going to be the leader after that. So it's a little bit whoever is going to do whatever they're going to do kind of thing. They march through the city, and eventually they'll come to Renando, and they open Renando's gate. They break the bars and let him free. They let him out, and Renando is just going to join the mob, and they're going to go kill Kull and take their city back. They throw a torch into Kull's bedroom, and Kull is freaking out. He's like all pissed off and doesn't know why they're all upset and stuff, because again, he's in this hazy kind of fog in his brain, and he doesn't understand. And then he goes to the mirror that the sorcerer had brought, and he sees his tiger totem. The tiger totem is fighting against this magical stuff that has its claws into Kull. And one of the things about this new chapter is there is really it's a surprising lack of the watercolor or washing tones and stuff, which I am totally okay with. I love John Bolton's washes, and they're so beautiful. I mean, look at this stuff. It's just gorgeous. But then he's turning to the line work. This is gorgeous line work, gorgeous feathering, gorgeous, like, look at all of this intricate line work in the muscles and stuff. And he's using the blacks and whites, the shading, the shadows to a perfect extent. And he does use the wash a little bit in this tiger tone and stuff like that. It's really fantastic, but it's this line work that you see in this the evil temptress's garments that is so beautiful, and also in his rippling musculature, which is really cool. This is really awesome. I mean, I don't often say that. I mean, it's just awesome. It's just fantastic. And I mean, look at this brushwork. Look at the line work and the line weight and stuff like that. So again, he's going to the mirror that the evil sorcerer has brought into his bedchambers for him to kind of get more of his hooks into Kull. And so Kull stands before it, and his evil doppelganger twin, because all of the nights that he's looked at this mirror, it's turning Kull more and more evil, or more and more into this brutish kind of non-thinking creature that the sorcerer can control Kull with. So the thing actually finally reaches out to Kull, and he's trying to drag him back into the mirror universe, back into whatever dimension or whatever it is, and he's trying to kill Kull. And it's really Kull having a war with himself. He's trying to defeat the evil beast man that's within himself, to become a little bit more civilized and a little bit more in control of his body. This is really, I don't know if this is, I think this is very faithful to the Robert E. Howard storyline. And what Robert E. Howard does in a lot of his storylines is, just like any other fantasy, science fiction writer, Mr. Horror writer, whatever, just like Stephen King, his stories mean something. I feel like a lot of this is drugs. I feel like she is a drug on him, and she actually even tells him to come and smoke some of the herb or whatever, and to make his feelings all better. The pipe, my king, tastes the stuff of dark dreams. So I think that all of this magician stuff, the sorcerer stuff, is kind of metaphor for drugs and him being in a drugs kind of state. And so I'm in it. It kind of the way it parallels what drugs are and how they are on people and what they do to them is very much in accordance with what is going on with this being controlled by the evil sorcerer and his girl. And so Kull is fighting this creature, and he only has his leg out, and he's being sucked into the mirror universe when a spear smashes the mirror, and the evil creature that is Kull, the side of Kull that he is fighting, kind of shatters into a million pieces, and it's Brule the Slayer. He's come to tell Kull that he's leaving, that even though that they were brothers at one time, he can't condone any of the actions that Kull has done, and he doesn't feel like Kull is the same person. So he's come to tell him goodbye, and Kull implores him, please stay with me. I've been put under this spell by this sorcerer or something, and I really need you to stay by myself. Brule doesn't like it. He's not so trusting of Kull anymore, even though they've gone through all of these different adventures and stuff. He's still, Kull slapped him in the face. Brule the Slayer is not somebody you just slap in the face. He's like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to be cool with that. No, he's like, I'm going to, I'm going to take off. I can't kill you because you were my brother, but I'm going to take off. So Kull finally decides, gets him to stay. And then they confront the wizard's daughter, the sorcerer's daughter, Sekhmet Tharn's daughter. And she finally realizes that she's been caught and she's going to have to go into the next phase of their plan, which was first to dominate him and then to turn the people against him so that it would be easier to steal the throne of Volusia. So she reveals herself as a serpent woman. And the serpent people they were the original inhabitants of the world, and they're long dead. And there were still a few of them that were, even after they were hunted by the humans and killed, because obviously they're evil serpent people, they were killed. And so they're hiding in the shadows, but they've been plotting their revenge, and they've been plotting the way to get back to their reign of power. So she's explaining all of this stuff while she transforms into her serpent guise. And I mean, again, look at John Bolton's superior inking work, and it's just gorgeous, along with the washes and stuff that he uses to complement the superior ink work that he has. She talks about the different rituals that they've done and how they've been raising the dead. Remember, there was the previous king was raised from the dead, and he was terrorizing the countryside. It's really the sorcerer was raising all of the dead, and he's going to have an army of undead creatures to take back the throne and to return the serpent people back to their rightful place. And Kull is just like, I'm not going to have any part of it. I'm going to stop you somehow. And he no, he doesn't do that yet. She throws a dart at him, has some sort of poison. He dodges it. This is kind of my least favorite panel of this whole thing, where she just kind of flicks it. I don't know how it could be done differently. It just looks a little lackadaisical, like maybe she's not throwing it very hard, but that is a completely, minuscule thing about this whole book and how beautiful it is. Kull grabs the spear, throws it into her chest and kills him, and they figured out they have to do something to save the Volusia, to save the people, and he's asking Brule to help him, and they got to figure out how to do it. So that comes to Part 4, The True Enemy Within. Part 3 was named, by the way, again, subtitles. I'm horrible at reading them. I'm horrible at giving them. And in Decadence, The Descent. So that is the chapter that we just went through. And the next part is going to be him trying to save Volusia from the thralls of the evil serpent people. So we're almost done with this book, and hope you like it. And if you're new to the channel, this is the kind of stuff I go through. I go through indie comics from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever, but also individual stuff that I just love. I love sword and sorcery in particular, and that's what a lot of my work is sword and sorcery stuff. And I've got a new thing coming out, and I'm hoping that you guys like it. You'll see it shortly. And I love Kull and Conan and all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you guys thought of this part of the story, and if you have this book and what you think of Kull. Do you like Kull more than Conan? Do you like him as much as Conan, or do you like him not as much as Conan? My preference is Conan. Kull is a little bit too introspective for me, but let me know what you guys think. So like I said, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and all of that cool stuff. I'm getting the video down to 20 minutes, which is really fantastic for me because I could, droll on and on and on about comic books and writing and stories and sword sorcery and everything under the sun. But hopefully you've stayed with me, and I'm going to try to keep the videos a little bit shorter, so I'm going to keep that attention span intact, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Friday. Hopefully we have a stream with Joe tomorrow, and we'll be talking about some cool stuff. And let me know what you guys think. What do you think about the story? What do you think about Robert E. Howard? What do you think about Conan? What do you think about Kull? I love to hear what you guys think about. So even if you're new to the channel and you don't subscribe, please let me know what you think about it, the video and everything. And I really do appreciate that. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. And as always, keep on creating.